Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Here to recap week 2 of the preseason for the Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm making this recap during the fourth quarter between the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots, as it's Saturday night. I want to get this video out here now. And there's not really much going on in the game at this point anyway. I mean, sure, it'd be nice to get some more evaluation on Khalif Raymond, Taywan Taylor, Coley Hollister, and some of the defensive players as well. But I feel comfortable going ahead and going live now and making this preseason week to recap. Let me make sure that the audio is good because last week it wasn't great to start out. And yes, the audio sounds great on my end. Tell me in the chat to just make sure that the audio sounds good because I know we had some audio issues to begin last week. So mainly, this week I want to focus on the first stringers, right? We didn't see much of the first stringers in week 1. We expected that, so we pretty much focused our discussion on Taywan Taylor, the wide receiver battle, and some of the nuances, some of the minor things. But now we really got a good look at the first team offense and defense today. And I liked what I saw. Now, if we did not get that last touchdown in that third series offensively, I would not have liked what I saw. So we're still dealing with a very small sample size. I mean, really shouldn't, draw any conclusions from that small sample size. But we're going to anyway because we're fans, we're fanatics, and that's what we do. So I liked what I saw during that third drive. I mean, how could you not? It was everything that we needed to see, everything that we wanted to see. When Marcus Mariota gets protection, with the wide receivers that we have now, it's over. Marcus Mariota is going to find the open man. He's going to deliver the football. And this wide receiver core and this tight end as well, I have absolutely no doubt that they're going to come down the football most of the time. Now, we did see Corey Davis had, I don't want to call it a drop, but a missed opportunity to come down with a difficult grab, but a grab that I think he should be able to get. He's talented enough to get that grab. This was on the right sideline, like a nice 15-yard out. He should be able to get that type of pass at this point. It was like a corner route, actually. He should be able to catch that pretty much consistently at this point in his career. I think he was going up against Jawan Williams, perhaps. This was not, the Patriots. It was not Stephon Gilmore, right? The Patriots' best corner. So you would like to see Corey Davis come down with that football. But then, a couple plays later, he has a 20-yard gain, and we like what we saw there from Corey Davis. But I have no doubt when Mariota is sitting in that pocket, if he has protection, that someone in this receiving core is going to get open, and Mariota is going to deliver the football consistently. And that can drive us down the football field whenever we need to. And then we combine that with the running abilities and the powers of Derrick Henry, that this offense can be quite formidable. This is what we want to see. Now, that third drive was great, and we was capped off with that magnificent, beautiful, gorgeous touchdown. Marcus Mariota to Delanie Walker. The connection is back and as beautiful as ever. Okay, yet again, Mariota manipulating the middle of the field as he does best. The maestro, Marcus Mariota, manipulating the defense, moving the linebackers, manipulating the safeties, and finding Delanie Walker over the middle. This has been their staple throughout their time together in Tennessee. It was nice to see that connection once again. Okay, so I like seeing that. However, we did have the first 2 drives offensively, and those did not go particularly well. They didn't go particularly poorly either, but, there was a penalty that hurt one, and we tried to run the football on a 3rd and 1 on the second drive, and then we failed, and then for some reason we punted, and Charles Davis on the telecast was saying, I think this is Mike Vrabel's way of saying, offense, you don't deserve to, go for it here, and I don't know about that. I would have just went for the damn thing. If you're gonna have that philosophy, don't run it on 3rd down. Don't run it on 3rd down. Pass it on 3rd down if you really have that philosophy to where they're gonna have to convert on 3rd down or we're gonna punt the football. If that's the case, throw the football on that 3rd down. When you don't have Derrick Henry out there, if you have Derrick Henry out there, okay, go ahead and run it. If you don't, and you're telling me this 3rd down is all we got, then throw the football because that's our move. Hey, we have Mariota, we have A.J. Brown, we have Delanie Walker, we have Dion Lewis. Okay, which one are you going to pick? Are you going to pick Dion Lewis or are you going to pick those guys? And it may have been Jeremy McNichols, actually, who got that 3rd and 1 call. So I don't understand the play call there, but whatever. It's preseason. Who really cares? So I would have liked to have seen us gone for it on that second drive. And then who knows, maybe we score. And then the first drive, it was just, 3 and out. I believe maybe it was 2 downs. I'm pretty sure it was only, I think it was only 2 series, I guess, of plays. I think it was only either 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure it was a 3 and out. So unfortunately, we didn't see enough there, but the third down, you have to love. Mariota went down the field. He found his receivers, and again, if we can just get him protection, we'll be fine. And on the first drive, how can you forget about this? Roger Saffold. I mean, this guy got embarrassed by Byron Cowart of the New England Patriots. Defensive lineman embarrassed him. And, a lot of people were concerned about this. I think Roger Saffold was just like, I'm going up against a rookie. This is my first preseason game. I don't think he played last week. So this is my first preseason game with this team this season. Whatever. Like, this was like the first passing snap. And then he's like, whoa, okay, this guy can actually play. And then he kind of got, shocked, right into the system there. And then after that, he was fine. So I'm not worried about Roger Saffold. It was a bad play. Make no doubt about it. It was a bad play. And Mariota took the sack. But I think we're fine. I don't think that's really much of a problem. So I was okay with what we saw from offense today. I was very encouraged about the third drive, but make no doubt about it, the first two drives were failures. So hey, if we score a touchdown on every third drive, I think we're going to do all right. Right, that is actually pretty damn good in the NFL. An NFL where you probably would get like 12 series a game. Okay, so that's like 28 points, and we love to score 28 points consistently. So we'll see, but I liked what we saw in terms of that third drive for sure. And then you look at the wide receivers, running back position, there's not really much to talk about. Deion Lewis is still running like Deion Lewis. I'm kind of over it, to be honest with you. He's going to get you some okay runs. Like, he had a nice 8-yard run to start the game. But, I just don't think he's really going to pop for this football team. I'm just not seeing it. Hopefully he's able to do more in terms of the receiving game. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think just playing with Tom Brady in New England, Tom Brady just gets so much fear from the defense. It allows running backs to have so much success there. Look at James White. James White, some people think is headed for the Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, if you put James White on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you never see of James White again. Okay, I think anyone that plays with Tom Brady at the running back position, they're going to look better than they are. Deion Lewis, he's just not showing much for me. I don't know. There's nothing I see in terms of pop from Deion Lewis. And Jeremy McNichols, I loved the receiving touchdown. It was fantastic. He drove into the end zone. And I liked him coming out of college, coming out of Boise State, that 2017 NFL draft. I scouted him. I liked him. But he has some maturity issues. That's why he got cut from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe he's fixed those. But he hasn't been great running the football. Only averaged like 2.2 yards a carry this week. And then last week, averaged 5.5. But he had a 37-yard run of his 44 yards. So 37 yards on one run. And then I think he had maybe, 44 yards. And it was 5.5 yards a carry. Quick math, that was like 8 carries. Okay, so he had 8 carries, one of which went for 37 yards, 7 of which went for 7 yards. All right, so, I don't know if he's worthy of making the team. I'd still kind of prefer David Fluellen. It doesn't really matter. I don't think either one of these guys are going to play. And I think if we move on from Deion Lewis, and I'm starting to think we might next year, I'm not going to look at either one of these guys to become the number 2 running back. That's just not happening. No way in hell. So with that said, wide receivers. So I liked what we saw from Corey Davis after he didn't make the play. It wasn't a drop, right? The Patriots defensive back definitely had his hand in there. It was not a drop. But I would just like to see Corey Davis dominate the cornerback and be able to come down with that catch. That's something that I want to see. Okay, and I didn't see that, unfortunately, but that's fine. So outside of that, Taywan Taylor, he definitely bounced back. I think right now, let's see what he has right now. But last I checked, he had 2 receptions for 27 yards. Yes, that's still what he has. Now it's on 5 targets, so I guess he got targeted again since I turned off the game. But he looked better, and again, as I discussed last week, I think he's a guy that should definitely make the team. He's an NFL talent. But his confidence is definitely waning right now, and it looks like it's back. He had a nice week of practice. You heard about these guys talking about this. He performed well against the Patriots in terms of the scrimmages and all of that. So I like hearing that. It looks like he's getting his confidence back and going, and that's good because he should still make this roster. I still think he does offer more than Khalif Raymond. I know we really like Khalif Raymond. Again, as I discussed last week, you really want your depth guys to be nice, consistent hands catchers, but you still like the upside of Taywan Taylor, and he does enough for you to where, yeah, he should make the roster. Now, where on the roster he should be, I don't know. And right now it's looking like he's going to be number 5 wide receiver, but he should make the roster, and that's what I expect to happen. So that's pretty much it for the wide receivers. I loved Anthony Ferkser again today. Hey, people, he's just better than Jonnu Smith, man. I don't know why y'all can't just jump on this bandwagon. I don't know why you all cannot just jump on this bandwagon and agree with me. He's just better than Jonnu Smith. It's okay. It's okay. The guy just makes plays consistently. If you throw the ball to Anthony Ferkser, you're going to complete the pass. That is something that's been true. Okay, I mean, this guy, you just don't see targets to Anthony Ferkser that end in an incompletion. This is something that you do not see. And I don't know why it's just so controversial for me to say that he's better than Jonnu Smith. He's better than Jonnu Smith. And we didn't see Michael Pruitt today, but I think he's better than Jonnu Smith too. Jonnu Smith stinks. But so I like Anthony Ferkser again. And Cole Wick did some things, but we're not really worried about Cole Wick. So we'll watch those tight ends moving forward. The offensive line, Dennis Kelly held his own. Again, it was Roger Saffold that messed up on that sack on the first drive, so we have to look at him. But the offensive line held up well. You know, we're still watching this right guard battle, and it's hard to see. I mean, it still looks like Pamphil is going to start. It's hard to see anyone else starting at this point, but, you know, it's definitely a competition right there, and we're going to see what's going to happen. And Nate Davis, in his time, I haven't seen anything that's really stood out to say, okay, this guy should be starting. I'm not concerned about him or anything. It's just one of those things where eventually we're just going to put him in there and we're going to see what we got. I mean, I think that's just the way it pretty much works with these offensive guards, especially. You just kind of got to throw them in there. I mean, they can look great against second string. Throw them in the first string, they stink. You know, it's just a very nuanced position. And obviously, you have to develop a rapport and chemistry with your teammates and comrades on that offensive line. So we definitely have to, take it day by day with Nate Davis and see how he develops. Defensively, loved the interception by Logan Ryan. You know, this is the stuff that we need. We need more interceptions like this season. They said on the broadcast only 10 interceptions for the Tennessee Titans last season, and we need more than that. Okay, we need to step it up. I think that was by the defensive backs, that 10 interception number. But yeah, we need more than that. We need turnovers, right? We need to get more turnovers, set our offense up for better success, and I think that could absolutely help transcend this team to being that 11, maybe even 12-win team a lot of us believe they can be. So I love seeing Logan Ryan being aggressive to the football. And Amani Hooker, right, the slot corner / safety, he almost came down with an interception of his own. And it was not a drop on his part because the wide receiver, he had his hand in that, and I think he got the ball as well. So that's why the ball was not intercepted by Amani Hooker. But it was nice to see that, hey, we're ball hawking. We're getting to the ball. We're trying to, turn it over and run the other way. And that's what I want to see. That's what I like to see. And in terms of the pass rush, it's hard to determine right now because we don't have Cameron Wake or Harold Landry out there, and those are the starters at outside linebacker. However, Kamale Correa, look, I like Kamale Correa. I didn't think he had a very good game today. Sharif Finch, I think he played. I didn't notice. I don't love the outside linebacking depth, and with DeAndre Walker to miss the entire season, I think we need to go hit the market for an outside linebacker. Okay, I really do, especially, again, with DeAndre Walker out for the year. So I think we should go and we should pick someone up. I don't have the free agent defensive ends or outside linebackers in front of me, but I think we could use another pass rusher on this team. I think absolutely. Now, we can still get sacks. We got a sack today from Kenny Vaccaro. Like, we're still going to get sacks from our defensive backs and our inside linebackers, and that's great. We could use another pass rusher on this football team, especially considering the fact that, dude, Cameron Wake is only going to play like 600 snaps of a possible 1,000, 1,100, right? Maybe even 1,200. That's only like half the snaps, dude. Maybe like the max 55% of the snaps. We're going to have to get some pass rushing depth. Okay, well, I just think we're going to have to get that because David Long is an inside linebacker. He looks a lot like Jayon Brown at this point. So I think we need to look for a pass rusher. I hope that's something that they're looking at, and this is the time to look at it. I don't know why they haven't already signed someone. I guess they don't think it's a problem. I think it will be a problem. If Harold Landry or Cameron Wake goes down, we're done. We're not getting anything from our outside linebackers. I mean, that's really it because one of them is going to get double teamed, and that's it. You're not going to get anything from your outside linebacker, so that is something that concerns me. On the defensive line, we saw some guys make some plays. Matt Dickerson and the other guy, let me look up his name right now. He had a big sack as well, Isaiah Mack. So I've heard a lot about Matt Dickerson. It sounds like this is a guy that really might make the team. Have not heard much about Isaiah Mack, so I'm not expecting him to really make the team, but we'll see. It was a nice sack by him, but that was the only sack today. And by the way, the Kenny Vaccaro sack, it was called back due to penalty. Malcolm Butler still having some issues. I think it was a hands to the face on him. So, our pass rush, we need to see more. I mean, just point blank and simple. And again, I know Harold Landry and Cameron Wake were out, and that's fine. But even them, like, let's be honest, dude. Those aren't elite pass rushers. I mean, Cameron Wake, when he's on the field, actually, he is elite. But he only plays 55% of your snaps. So where's the other 45%? If you have 55% of something that's elite, is that even mediocre? Like, what is that? Like, you need to make up for the other half. So we're going to see what's going to happen there, especially if Cameron Wake, I mean, he could fall off a cliff. Who was it that we signed? I remember when we signed this old guy, Cameron Wembley. Remember Cameron Wembley? He might be Cameron Wembley at this point. Now, he's better than Cameron Wembley. Cam Wake he might be a Hall of Famer. We'll see. Hall of Fame is so hard to get into, but he's a borderline Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great defensive end. So he's definitely better than Cameron Wembley. But remember, we signed Cameron Wembley. Oh, this guy's going to be great. Couldn't do nothing at like a decent year, and then that was it. He was crap, garbage, nothing. Absolutely nothing. We could be getting that from Cameron Wake. Expecting him to come in here and play a bigger role than he will, and then we're like, Jesus Christ, we have no other pass rush. So that's a very concerning thing for me right now. Oh, and also that other that Denver Bronco who came here. Let me look up his name real quick. That old Denver Bronco, he was like 35 years old. This was 2013 or maybe 2014 Tennessee Titans. I'm pretty sure it was 2014 Tennessee Titans. He came in here and he did nothing. Like, he didn't even have one decent year here. He was just bad the whole year. So I'm really concerned about this, especially at outside linebacking pass rush. The good thing is we have Dean Pease, a guy that can definitely, do a lot of things in terms of being creative with his blitz packages, being able to create a pass rush when one may not be exactly available. But man, I just think we really, really, really need to be cautious and careful right now when it comes to these guys. I'm looking up this. Oh God, what was this guy's name? Jeez. Okay. Someone in the chat, what was that former Denver Bronco? He was like 35 years old. He joined our team and he did nothing. It was unbelievable. Like, I think his first name started with like an S. I don't know why I feel that. Let's see if I can find this guy. I'm going to give up. Sean Phillips. Remember Sean Phillips? Sean Phillips, a guy that was a former Denver Bronco. Okay, you look at his stats. He was, and also San Diego Charger, most notably a San Diego Charger. Okay, this guy had like 10 sacks. He had 10 sacks in 2013. We thought we were going to sign him. He was going to do a great job for us. Had 2 sacks. And that was it. That was it for our team. And then he was gone. He retired. That was it. Bye, whatever. And I think we cut him mid-season. So, like, this is what I'm afraid of. I think Cameron Wake is going to be better than that. But, that's just something to look out for. So, outside of that, that's really all I really want to talk about today. Although I did it was against the New England second string. I don't think they played any of their starters, except for maybe somewhat wide receiver, because right now the wide receivers are so bad they need to play, or at least unknown, in Braxton Berrios and the other crazy guy. So, what's his name? Jacoby Myers, right? They're playing these wide receivers that actually are going to play in the regular season. But I liked how stout our defense looked early. And then when they finally went down and scored a touchdown, that was our second string. But I really liked our defense. Now, there was no Tom Brady out there. There was no Sony Michel. And I don't know which of their starting offensive linemen were out there. Okay, so understand that. But what we saw from our defense as a unit, it looked great. Oh, it looked great. It looked Chicago Bears-esque. It looked fantastic. It looked like a top 5 defense. I'm excited for this defense. That's just the one part of the defense I look at and I say, okay, that's problematic. Especially because, dude, this Deshaun Watson, man, he just threw another touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. We keep chasing this guy around. We keep trying to chase Andrew Luck, and that's why we keep losing to these guys. So it's concerning. That's the one thing I see holding this team back right now. And it's a big thing, okay? It's a big thing, and hopefully it gets resolved. So real quick, we're going to answer any questions in the chat, and then we will get out of here. Let me see if there's anything you guys have said. So Alex Shirley, he says, so the quarterback controversy people can go away and lost all credibility as journalists. I mean, look, it's the national media. For those who don't know, the national media, some members of the national media came out and said that essentially that Ryan Tannehill has a chance to start week 1. If they feel he's the better of the two quarterbacks, they're going to play him week 1, and this is just not the case. If this was the case, they'd be giving Ryan Tannehill more first-team reps. I think there was only one day in which he took first-team reps, and I think that was only a day in which Mariota just sat. Okay, so there's never been a day in which Mariota took the second team and Ryan Tannehill took the first team because we wanted to see more of Ryan Tannehill playing with the first team. That has never been the case. That won't be the case. Mariota will start week 1 if he's healthy. Now, again, as I said last week, if he gets injured and you give Ryan Tannehill the opportunity to come in, he's going to light it up. And you see in the preseason against the second string, he can play. Okay, this is the best backup quarterback I'll say we've ever had. Some people will say Kerry Collins. That's fine. You Kerry Collins people. But I think this is the best backup quarterback we've ever had. And I think it's going to be very interesting. I mean, in fact, even thinking about it, dude, Ryan Tannehill is like Kerry Collins, actually in shape, actually mobile, worst leader for sure. I mean, Kerry Collins hasn't beaten the character department. There's no doubt about that. But he's definitely a much better version than Kerry Collins, even though I know there's a lot of Kerry Collins apologists. One non-related Tennessee Titans question, but I'll answer it anyway because it's relevant. All Around Highlights asked thoughts on Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones. And look, I had it before the season, before the draft. I had Daniel Jones over Dwayne Haskins. I didn't care what anyone said. I believe that Dwayne Haskins is all right. I would have took him in the second round. Daniel Jones, same thing. But I would have took Daniel Jones early second and Dwayne Haskins like middle second. And I'm very confident that Daniel Jones will be a better quarterback. He's just crisp, man. He makes nice, crisp, accurate decisions in the short to intermediate range. And now I'm starting to see him expand his range and take some risks. And he's learning the playbook and he's getting into the playbook. I have no doubt that Daniel Jones, I think he's going to be the second best quarterback out of this draft class. We have to look out for Kyler Murray because maybe the whole thing is going to be a disaster right now, but I still have faith in him as well. But I've always liked Daniel Jones. I don't know why people were laughing when the Giants took him number 6. Now, I wouldn't have taken him number 6, but, I definitely would have took him second round. And if you're going to take a quarterback second round, if you really like him, then fine. Take him first round. If you're going to take him first round, take him whenever your first round pick is. Because at that point, you might as well just go all in. So they went all in. I respected it at the time. I respect it now. Perfect Shot wants to know, do you still stand with your week 1 prediction? Ask me week 1. I don't care what's going to happen week 1 right now. We're just trying to get through the preseason. And then Alex McDuffie asks, just came in, what do you think about Taywan Taylor? Again, he played better. Everyone's saying that, and they're right. But he only caught 2 passes at the same time. So let's, relax at the same time. But, hey, he had a great week of practice. And, again, he should make the roster. I said last week, despite all the struggles, he should make the roster. He should be given the opportunity to get on the football field, to run some nice go routes, and to do some things. And, catch some screens and whatever. He definitely has NFL talent. There's no doubt about that. He should make the roster over a Khalif Raymond or a Darius Jennings or a Cody Hollister at this point. And it's nice to see that he got his confidence back. But hopefully he's able to retain that as his ass sits on the bench because he's going to be inactive for a lot of games this year if they put Tajay Sharp at the 4 and then they're going to have a kick returner. Most likely, they're going to have a kick returner like Darius Jennings or Khalif Raymond, which is going to render Taywan Taylor inactive. And I hope that he can sit inactive and then be able to, rise to the occasion whenever his number is called. And actually, there's a great question. Perfect Shot asks, what do you think about A.J. Brown? Seems like he wasn't even targeted. Yeah, he was not. And I'm going to sit down and look at the tape. But already what I've seen, he was getting open. He was getting open consistently. He was having nice releases from the line of scrimmage. I was so excited to see him today. Unfortunately, we didn't get the ball in his hands. But I just really want to see it next week. And by the way, guys, next week, it is Sunday Night Football, Tennessee Titans versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, unfortunately, it's our only Sunday Night Football game this year. For now, we're going to get flexed in one. Or two. But at least it's going to be nice to see us watch the Tennessee Titans play on Sunday night. And it's a nice stage for A.J. Brown to show up. So I saw him getting open consistently. We just couldn't get the rock to him. There was a great deep post. I believe he was running a post, or maybe it was a cross, whatever. And Mariota couldn't throw it to him because throw it to him though because that was the Roger Saffold sack. So I saw him getting open consistently. I'm excited to see him moving forward. And again, y'all know I'm Mr. AJ Brown. He was my wide receiver #1. I'm all in. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving each and every second of it. So with that said, that will end this week 2 recap. Tennessee Titans versus New England Patriots. Is the game over yet? Let me check if the game finally ended at this point, if I can say the final score or not. It is ending now. Okay, looks like we're going to lose 22-17. Aww. Well, that's fine. You know, it's a loss, but I like the way that we looked. And again, I'm encouraged. I do want to see us have a strong preseason week 3, though. Last year, I believe we got pretty much embarrassed by the Pittsburgh Steelers in that 3rd preseason game. Let's make up for that. I'm pretty sure it's in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, let's go to Pittsburgh. Let's make up for that on Sunday Night Football. Not many people will be watching, but enough people will be watching. And let's make an early statement. The Tennessee Titans are here to contend. Look out for the Tennessee Titans this upcoming year. I'm excited for this team, and I think we're seeing good things. So, with that said, those are my thoughts on this game. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.